Great. Welcome to module 3. Now, this is the first video lesson of module 3, and we are still working on estimates and handling customers. And in this module, we're going to learn how to create invoices and a lot of other things when handling customers. But first of all, I want to believe that you actually completed the practical exercise that I gave you in the final module of final lesson of module 2, rather module 3, where you were to add 3 more estimates. And today I want to show you a different way to add to create customer estimates for a job that you haven't assign that customer yet. For instance, if you go to customer, you're gonna notice here that we have Kelly and we have networking. What if Kelly wants an estimate for a job that does not exist here? Okay, how do you assign Kelly a job that does not exist in the system, a job that is not assigned to Kelly right here? How do you do that? I'm going to show you how you can do that, and then after that I'm going to show you how to create invoices. So we're going to close this, and let's say that I want to create estimates for a job that does not exist for a given customer. So click estimates, and let's say I'm creating estimates for Kelly, and this time around it's not Wi-Fi installation. It's another kind of a job that is not assigned to Kelly. So how do I assign Kelly a job right here that is not already assigned, a new job? So to do that, what you need to do is let me delete that. If you want to assign a customer a given, or you want to create estimate for a customer for a job that's not assigned to that customer, you come here and you pick the customer, and then you click right there and you enter colons. Once you enter colons, you enter colons. Once you enter colons, you type the new job you want to assign that customer, the job you want to create estimates for, even if it is not initially assigned to that customer. So I'm gonna write security system. Okay, security systems installation. All right, that's a job I'm going to be doing for Kelly, but notice we don't have such a job. So this is a new job that does not exist, but we want to have that job, and we want to enter it right here when you're creating the estimates. So you enter the name of the customer followed by colons, and then after the colons you can type the job. So the job here is security system installation. So that's the new job. Once you type the new job, you press enter, and QuickBooks will prompt you and you tell you security system installation is not in the customer job list. Okay, remember, for Kelly, the job list for Kelly is Wi-Fi installation, but now Kelly wants us to install security system for him, and he actually wants an estimate for that, and we haven't assigned that job to Kelly before. So we're doing it right here as we create the estimate. So the system tells you that this job does not exist for this customer. To automatically add security system installation to the customer job list, you click quick add. You can enter more details information later. So if I click quick add, it's going to quickly add that job for this customer. If I click setup, it will allow me to set up this job and actually enter this kind of service in the service inventory before I proceed. So we can go either way. So let's first go through the quick add path. So we're gonna click quick add, and it will not prompt for any more information. What it's going to do is going to allow me to proceed from there, and I'm going to click here. I'll click here, and then the job does not exist here, so I'm gonna have to click add new and then add that kind of a job. So I'll click new, it's a service. I'll click right here, and it's security system installation, security systems installation. All right, and description, you describe it if I want. I'll just leave it like it is. And for this one, we charge 1800 per hour. So those are our charges. Rate per hour, it's 1800, and this one goes into sales income. All right, and we click OK, and there you go. So that's the trick that you use if you want to add or assign a given job and create estimates for a customer for a job that you haven't assigned that customer before. That's the trick that you use. Let's describe this one. We can describe this job. It's security system installation, for the office, right? So that is it. And then quantity here, it's 1, and then I'm noticing that I'm not able to see what is here, so I can come here and actually adjust this. So click there, you bring your mouse pointer right at this line here. The moment you get to notice this line here comes right to the top. So once you get here, the cursor changes. You come here, the cursor changes. It shows that you can adjust the width of those columns. So I'm gonna come here, I'll position my mouse pointer this way, and then it will show those double arrows showing you can resize this column into any direction. So I'll click it just to drag it, and then I'm making this one, the width of this column, cost column, bigger so that we can see the cost. And that is it. So you can adjust these columns. They are not made of stone. Okay, you can make the adjustment based on the column that you want, so that everything is clear. They are not fixed, they are all adjustable. So that's it. I can click here and I can pick my message. Please sign and remit this quotation if you want us to proceed with the job, and then you click save and save and close. Now please sign in, remit this. Okay, proceed. The job is not a customer message. Quick add. Let's add that one as a customer message. The reason it's pointed as not a customer message is because we made some change from here. So save and close. One more items have not been assigned a class. Save anyway or cancel and return to the form. So just click save anyway. You hear that sound, that one is recorded. So that is how you add a job to a customer if the customer was not assigned that job before. We'll do one more and then you're done with that. Estimates. We wanna notice that it's already now here. We wanna assign one more job to John Patterson. So click John, and then you enter colons, and then this job is we're going to be installing actually QuickBooks software installation. Okay, we are taking that job and we are going to install QuickBooks software for John Patasi. Now, we didn't have that job assigned to him before. That's why we are using the trick. You enter the name colons, then you type in the new job, and then you press enter on your keyboard, and you get this message. QuickBooks software installation is not in the customer job list. To automatically add QuickBooks software to the customer job, click quick add, and then you can later change the rest of the information. So you can click quick add, or I can actually set up right away. Just click setup, and here it is. It's already assigned here, so I don't need to use this path because it's already assigned. So you can just click cancel, and I'll press enter again, and I'll use quick add, and it's added. So we come right here, and what I need to do is now pick add new, because notice that when you enter it here, it's not entered here. Why? We haven't set it up yet. It's a new one, so we're gonna need to set it up. Notice the ones that you set up, they are right here: CCTV, network installation, point of sale, security system installation. So they are there. So you're gonna need to set this one up. So click add new, and it's a service, and then this service is QuickBooks system. Let me just cancel. Let me cross check something here to make sure it's the right thing. QuickBooks software installation. Yeah, so QuickBooks software installation. I'll make sure that I have the right thing. So click right here and add its QuickBooks software installation. It's QuickBooks software installation. It's a service. There you are. So we have software installation. Okay, QuickBooks software installation. Now these are a number of you limited to how long this text should be. So you can notice it's QuickBooks installation, and then we cannot enter letter M. You can hear that sound. It means that we cannot have some more text. So I can make some amendments and remove the S here. So I have QuickBook, so that I can have N there. So that is it. How much do we charge for this? We charge 2,000 per hour. Actually 3,000 per hour. Installing this software, it's gonna take around let's say 2,000, and then we click OK. Setting up the entire system for an entire store, it can take number of hours. So we charge, it's actually charge 3,000 per hour, actually 5,000 per hour. It's gonna take around 2,000, sorry, around 2 hours, 2 to 3 hours. Then you click OK, and you must specify the account. Again, you need to associate or pick the account associated with this this estimate. So I'm gonna click here. This is going to be income, and then we click OK, and there you go. And so we charge 5,000 per hour. So if you're installing very many computers or doing a lot of intense complex setup, every 1 hour spent, it's gonna be 5,000. The message here, you can create another message, add new, and we can tell this customer please sign or we can tell the customer kindly contact us if you're ready to if you are ready to have us proceed with the job. Remember, you can enter any message you want. Basically, want to communicate to the customer something that very specific associated with that estimates. And then I'm gonna click OK, and that is it. And you can add some more here. Okay, it doesn't have to be one. You can add some more. You can add some more jobs, like John still wants to have point of sale installation service. You can add point of sale there. Now, QuickBooks automatically assigns the sales tax code for the customer to this line unless you changed. Okay, so we're gonna cancel that. Let's remove that one, and let's remove, we don't want to have that one there. Let's just remove this. That's where it will indicate the tax for that job. So what we need to do is we need to add that one here, and then let's pick point of sale, and there you go. So basically this one is left for assigning sales tax, indicating that is sales tax. That's why we left it. As you can notice, we have the white and the this is white, this row is white. You notice this one is somehow gray. It's left there for assignment of sales tax, which is normally indicated right below the description there. Now, so let's describe this one. QuickBooks installation, QuickBooks system or software installation right, service. So that is the service we are offering that customer. The customer is also looking for or wants estimate for another service, which is a point of sale installation, point of sale software installation service. And that's it. And you can add as many as you want. Let's see. Okay, you have not created price levels to set up price level. Okay, something that's not quite okay here. I'm gonna remove this one. Let's see what's not going on. Okay, let's come here. Let's pick this. Let's see what happens. All right, something is wrong with this point of sale. Okay, we didn't set up the point of sale price for this service, so you're gonna need to do that. That's why you can see there's no price here. And so rather than pick this, let's pick a different service. Rather than pick that, let's pick network installation or security system installation. So it will be indicated there, and then you'll be able to see the price and 1 hour. Okay, so what QuickBooks will do is it's going to add the first service, the second service. It's going to show the total right here. All these are taxable. it will show the tax, and then it will show the total amount. And that is it. We're going to have that message right there, and then you click save and then close. One more items have not been assigned a class. Save anyway. Click save anyway. You hear that sound, you're done. So you can add in any given estimate, you can add as many service or jobs you want to service that client with, or as many products as you want. So for any given estimate, there could be more jobs that the customer is asking for estimates, or it could be one. If there are more jobs, you can add as many jobs as you want on that estimate. Now we want to assume that when we create an estimate, one of the customers decided to give us a job. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is we're going to create an invoice. So I want to show you how to create an invoice. Write an estimate or a quotation, you send it to a customer, they give you the job. Now you want to create an invoice. So how do you do it? You come right here and click create invoice. Here you are. Now what you notice is there's no major difference in terms of the screen of an invoice and estimates. They actually look almost the same. But what you notice is the difference is it's gonna show here that this is an invoice, not an estimate, right? So let's see. So first of all, what is an invoice? Let's explain that before we move ahead. You invoice a customer. Of course, invoice is used when a customer gets a service or a product from you, they don't pay there at the counter, or if they want to pay partially. If they pay there at the counter, you issue a receipt. So you can invoice a customer for a partial payment, which you call progressive invoicing, of an estimate sent to them if they accept to do business with you. So the estimates that you send to our customers, if they do accept us to do business with them, we can invoice them to pay us some amount to get the job started. And somewhere along the way, as we continue with the project, we can also invoice them again, and we keep on invoicing them after a certain duration of time until the entire project is completed. So now let's invoice this one of our customers. So click here, customer job. Let's pick John Patterson. When you click John Patterson as a customer, what you're gonna see here is the estimate that you created, okay, for John Patterson on this date. Right now you want to pick the job that you are invoicing. There are two jobs here: QuickBooks installation and network installation. So which is which? Let's assume we are invoicing for the first job, that John didn't give us the second job. First of all, he wanted us to do the network installation. So I'm going to click that, the first job, or the job that I'm invoicing. If it's the QuickBooks job, then I can pick that one. But John wants us to first install network in his premise, so pick the first one. And then we click OK. Then create progressive invoicing based on estimate. Specify what to include on the invoice. Now it's gonna be very careful here. This is progressive invoicing, meaning the client is not going to pay the entire amount in this invoice. So meaning we are going to invoice this client so they can pay partial amount of that job. Let's say, for instance, before we start any job with a given client, we require them to pay 40% of that job. So the first invoice is going to be, we're going to invoice that client and ask the client to pay us 40% of the entire job. So what you have here is create invoice for the entire estimate 100%. If you want to invoice this customer the entire job, then you pick this. You have this option, create invoice for a percentage of the entire job, and this is what I was talking about. If we have a role at JobTech that before we take on any client project, they need to pay 40%. So in my invoice, I will come here and enter 40. Right? So what that means is I'm invoicing this client and telling the client, you're gonna have to pay us 40% of the entire job if you want the job to be done. So first of all, pay us 40% to get the job started. That's why we are entering 40 here. This is what you call progressive invoicing. It's partial payment. Still have another 60% that is not paid. But for a start, I want this customer to pay me 40% to pay JobTech, 40% for JobTech to pick up the job. If I wanted the customer, or if I wanted to invoice the customer the entire job, then I could click create invoice for the entire estimate. So we want 40%, enter 40% there, and it actually the system will enter the percentage for you. So we have this option 1 and option 2, and then we have option 3, create invoice for selected items or for different percentage for each. Okay, create invoice for selected items or for a different percentage of each. If you select a number of items and you want to create an invoice that asks for different percentage of payment, then you can do that. For now, we have only picked one estimate. So you're gonna pick that one and you're gonna ask for 40% for networking. Then you click OK. Now what do you notice? Network installation, estimated amount, it's 2,000. Rate, it's 2,000. Quantity, it's 40%, which is actually 0.4. So the total amount to pay, the client is supposed to pay 40%. So the 40% of 2,000, that is 800, right? So we are invoicing progressively, and you are picking a certain percentage, and that's what you are invoicing the client. So there are 3 ways to do it. You can invoice client the entire job, and that is 100%, or you can ask for partial payment, 40% of the entire project, and then after a while you can invoice again, maybe 20% or maybe the remaining 60%, depending on how you choose to work or how you work with your customers. So that is it. You have date here, the date of the invoice. This is the first invoice, that's why we have number 1. Now what you notice here is progressive invoice right here. That means this kind of invoices whereby you invoice a certain percentage is paid to you, a certain percentage of the entire job, and then progressively you invoice for another percentage and then another percentage until the entire job is completed. So that's what you call progressive invoicing. And the system is able to actually identify that, and it's good to create a progressive invoicing invoice template. So there you are. Purchase order number. You can also indicate the nope, just leave that one. We have terms. If there are any special terms that you have with this customer, you can enter them here. For instance, if I enter 2%, 10, just a minute. All right, just hold on. Okay, yeah, we didn't create any of our terms. I'm gonna show you how to do that later on, but I can pick any of the terms here. Okay, like 2%, 10, net, 30 days, or 1%, any of this. But for now, let's just skip that. So come back to that later. So that's it. So we have our invoice right here, and then you can enter any message you want right here. Like you can change this message and enter a new one that says thank you for business, or kindly please, thank you for business, we appreciate prompt payment. Can click we appreciate prompt payment, and that is it. Now what you see here is they haven't paid anything yet, so you can see the total payment. It's this amount, which is actually 800, and then you add a VAT of 128. Then you can save and close. You have changed John's Patter's network installation terms. Would you like to have this new information appear next time? No. QuickBooks is referring to the terms that I tried to adjust here, which actually we didn't implement. So just say no, I don't want those terms to apply for John next time we do business. So click no. And one or more items have not been assigned a class. Just click save anyway. There you proceed. You hear that sound? That's how you create an invoice. Let's create one more invoice, and then I'll leave you to create several invoices in this lesson before we get to the next lesson, where we are going to learn how to receive payments. So click create invoice again. This time around, I'm gonna pick a client like let's say Silas Moses, and here you are. This is the estimate that you created for this customer. So I will pick the estimate, and then I'll click OK. And this time around, I want to invoice this customer all the amount or the entire estimate 100%, not partial. So I'm gonna pick that one, and then I'll click OK, and there you are. The client is going to pay 100, or rather I am invoicing 100% of the entire project, which is that total amount, right? I can also change the quantity or the amount of time that I'm going to work with the client. Let's say for me to complete camera installation, or for JobTech to complete camera installation, it's gonna take 10 hours, right? So I'm going to enter it there, and then warning, the amount to enter for these invoice items appear to exceed the amount of the estimate. Did you modify the estimate? If so, you should update your invoice to match the new estimate. To do this, click the progress button on the invoice. You will be prompted to make any necessary updates. Now, this message is important because it means the client is going to pay more than what is in the estimate that was sent to the client. So you cannot change it at this point. If you do change it at this point, it will require you to go back to the estimate and update it so that you can have correct reports. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click OK. Then I'm going to revert this one to 1 so that you do not overcharge that customer. And what you have here is this invoice number 2. So that's it. And then we click save and close. Of course, what you notice here is this is the VAT. Okay, notice this one has not changed, so I'm going to click somewhere here to let it be recalculated. So it's now 1500. This is the VAT, which is 240, and then the total amount is 1740. So the rate will be based on the amount of time spent on that project, and you cannot change the amount of time spent on the project right here. You need to do that in the estimate. So you click save and close, and then you click save anyway. Now let's assume that we created these estimates. Let's go to one of the estimates, like this one for Kelly. Then you realize the amount of hours that you entered here for this client, you cannot do security installation for the office within 1 hour. It's gonna take 10 hours. You can always update your estimates. It's gonna take 10 hours for you to be able to do that. Then let's save it. So click save and close. Now you have changed the transaction. Do you want to record your changes? Yes, you want to record those new changes. So you click yes, and here you are. Would you like to add change order to your estimates? We click do not add, and then you save. So now you're going to have your new estimate updated. This time around, it's no longer 1 hour, but it's 10 hours, which will translate to 18,000. So you can change or update any estimate that you've made, but you can only do that before you create invoice for that estimate. Let's update another one. Let's say CCTV camera installation. Let's see which one. Okay, let's update this estimate right here. QuickBooks installation. Let's say it will take 5 hours to install the system. It's good to change the quantity, which will actually affect the amount. That's gonna be 25,000, and then we save it as it is. Save and close. You have changed transaction. Do you want to record? You say yes, and then you have June date, decreased quantity of QuickBooks soft installation 1 to 5, decreased price of QuickBooks, that amount, total estimate. Now would you like to add change order to your estimate? If you add a change order, the text in the box below will be added to the bottom of the estimate. You can edit the text below or edit later on the estimate form. If you do not add change order, your changes will be integrated into the system but will not be tracked or listed separately. So let's just add, save it anyway. There you go. So that is it. Let's go to estimates. Let's look at our estimates. We have the first estimate. Notice this one. We indicated, or we asked the system to indicate the new changes on that estimate. That's why you notice change of order. June, the date, this estimate price changed. We increased the quantity of QuickBooks software installation from 1 to 5. That means the price of QuickBooks installation increased from 5,000 to 25,000. That's of course in Kenyan shilling. So when you add that information, it will always reflect on the estimate, so that when you send your client the estimates, they'll be able to see the change of price, okay, in terms of quantity or the change of the actual price. So it will be indicated here. If you don't add, then it will not show that right here. For instance, if I go previous, what you notice is, let me show you, there's a change we made on this one, but it's not indicated here because we didn't ask the system to add those changes. So the change will be implemented, but it will not be shown on the estimates. So if you want the new changes you make on your estimates to be shown on the estimates, then you need to add and tell the system to actually show those changes on the estimates. If you don't want them to show up on the estimates, then you tell it not to add, and it's not going to add those changes. So let's do one more. This is the current price of CCTV camera installation quantity. Currently the estimate says it's going to take 1 hour. Let's say it's going to take 15 hours. So we are making changes on the estimate. If you go ahead, it's going to recalculate that one and go to 22,500. If you try to proceed to another one, you get to, alright, this one is already, progressive invoices have already been created, so you cannot change an estimate which you've already invoiced, right? Because it's already invoiced, the client is already ready to pay, so you cannot make those changes for that client. So you notice progressive invoices have been created for this estimate. Changing amounts on the estimate will affect the percentage of amount invoiced compared to the estimate. So you cannot go ahead and do that because you already invoiced this customer and the estimate was different, and you invoiced 40% of the estimate, and at the time the estimate was not this amount, it was for the quantity you only had 1 hour, so you cannot make changes on this. So you say no, let's pick one that is not estimated. Let's see, security systems. All right, let's see this one. No, that's the one that we are dealing with. Let's see, this one is also invoiced. We invoiced this one, so you cannot change it when it's already invoiced. So just save and close. There you are. So when creating invoice, it's simple. Just come to invoice, pick the customer you want to invoice, and then pick the actual invoice. See, what are we invoicing? We're invoicing for, actually let's pick the job. Oh, all right, I want to clear and go back because I want to explain something and I want you to get it right. So close this one. What I want you to do right now is I want you to create some invoices on your customers, on the estimates that you created. Create some invoices, and then in the next lesson I come back again to invoices and estimates, and then I want to make clear a number of things. So for now, create invoices for the estimate you've created for your customer. See whether you can do it by invoicing a certain percentage or invoicing the entire amount. And then in the next lesson, I'm going to show you how to still handle invoices by splitting the invoice for different jobs and invoice different percentages of those jobs to that customer, and then we will revert back to estimates. I'm going to explain a few things concerning estimates. So for now, practice invoicing. Invoice your customers. Use progressive invoicing, whereby you invoice a certain percentage, and also use 100% invoice, whereby you invoice the customer the entire job. But I will see in the next lesson as we dive deep more into invoicing and something on estimates. So get that one done. and I'll see you in the next lesson.